Reading. My love of books, our love of books. My regular viewers will know this. It's a really personal thing. And my regular viewers will know my family has had a really hard time lately. You know, I lost my mum. And I'm kind of done hiding it, keeping these feelings bottled up. And today is her birthday. So this is for her. No likes, no dislikes, no monetization. But this platform gives me an opportunity. You see, she is directly responsible for my love of reading, and I want to dedicate this video to her. I want to take a few moments, hopefully I'll get through this video in one piece, and tell you what a huge impact she had on me. And what a huge impact she had on this channel, by the way. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So let's get going. This is how my mum installed a love of reading and an absolute passion for it in her only son. So this is for you. Now here's the funny thing. My mum didn't read a ton of fiction. Not in the obsessive must-read at every new release kind of way. The kind of way that a lot of us online readers do. But she did read fiction. She read it with passion. Two books that stand out immediately. Wuthering and the Hunchback of Notre. Absolute classics, and she loved them. To her, these books weren't just old books, they were alive. Catherine and Heathcliff and Esmeralda and Quasimodo, they weren't just characters, they were people she cared about. And she reread those stories with the kind of love that stays with you forever. But outside classics and occasional new releases, fiction was not her main focus. What she really loved, and she absolutely devoured, was crime novels. Now, if I tried to give you a list of all the authors she read, I would be here for about 2 hours, and YouTube would start asking me if I wanted to put this video into audiobook format. There were so many. She loved detective stories, mysteries, true crime, basically anything with a body, a suspicious neighbour, and a dramatic reveal in the final chapter. And outside of those, she had a huge soft spot for true crime. And when I say true crime, I don't mean the Netflix documentaries everyone obsesses over now. No, she was there first. She was reading mafia stories, unsolved mysteries, gangster history. She knew more about Al Capone than most history professors. I'm not joking. Old Hollywood mysteries as well. I think that leads straight into this, non-fiction. Here's where it gets fun, because a bulk of her reading was non-fiction, and it was a real adventure. She loved conspiracy theory books, ghost stories, paranormal accounts that may or may not be true. In her mind, may be true. As a kid, I picked up those books lying around the house and suddenly be convinced that aliens were going to abduct me. Or that there was a haunted Victorian child standing in the corner of the room. And you would walk into the living room, and she would be deep in a Tudor history book. Elizabeth I, Henry VIII, all his wives. She would tell me every single detail about Anne Boleyn's downfall, or why exactly Catherine of Aragon deserved better. And then next week should be on the pharaohs of Egypt, the myths of Greece, or the daily life of ancient Rome. Mythology in particular. She loved mythology. Norse, Greek, Celtic, Egyptian, you name it, she inhaled it. And you kind of can see the through line, right? A love of stories that are bigger than life. And then, of course, there were movies. She loved old Hollywood books and movies. The scandals, the secrets, the behind-the-scenes drama of people like Marilyn Monroe. I basically grew up on a steady diet of old movies and mafia epics because of her. The Godfather trilogy, Casino, Scarface, they weren't just movies, they were events. She didn't just watch them, she studied them. And in the same breath, she would throw in a Lord of the Rings marathon and get completely swept away. And then she had this science fiction side, not in books but in TV. She loved Star Trek, the original Battlestar Galactica, the old school wobbly set design stuff that now feels quite quaint, but to her it was magic. And honestly, that's probably where I get my nerdy side of my brain from, on every level. And I mean that. Star Trek was a big event in my household with my mum. Battlestar Galactica was, Sliders, Quantum Leap, documentaries about Henry VIII or the Crusades. She loved the Crusades. So why am I telling you all this? Because my mum gave me the gift of reading. She gave me permission to love books in any form, from highbrow to pulpy, from classics to conspiracies. She opened my mind to entire worlds and histories, entire mythologies, and I don't think I would have found that on my own. So when you see me online talking about books, or see me posting about reading outside this narrow little boxes the internet sometimes likes to put us in, that's her influence. That's her voice in me. And 110%, this channel would not exist without her. And I mean that. Wouldn't exist. So yeah, that's a little glimpse into my mother's reading life. The crime novels, the ghost stories, the mafia histories, the myths, the legends, the Brontes, the Victorians, the aliens, and the gangsters and the elves. It's wild reading taste, but it was hers. And honestly, I wouldn't trade that inheritance of love of books for anything in the world. So here's to her. Happy birthday. And maybe here's to the books that make us who we are.